Hello, I'm Gil Zilkha, and welcome to my channel. This is my series entitled Essential Classical Music, where we look at the best recordings of the major classical music works. This video is taken out of my larger video where I cover the major concerto recordings. And if you enjoy this, I hope you'll take the time to also watch that larger one. Just know that you don't have to watch the entire thing in one big long take. It is divided into chapters, so it's really easy to just click through and view whichever work you're curious about. So I hope you enjoy it. And now we come to Chopin, the king of the piano. And in addition to all his many solo works, he also wrote two concertos for the piano. And I'm first going to recommend the first concerto is the more popular one. But first I'm going to recommend a version that includes both of them. And that's with Christian Zimmerman. This is with Carlo Maria Giuliani and the Los Angeles Philharmonic, recorded in the late 70s. And part of this is due to Giuliani also. He brings this sort of noble grandeur to the proceedings so that it doesn't just become this showpiece. And also Zimmerman, just this beautiful poetic artistry. It's a really great way to introduce yourself to these concertos. Just a beautiful, exquisite version of these wonderful works. Now, as I mentioned, the first one is the more popular one, so we also have a few versions that we should look at for number one. And this is a very famous version. It's Maurizio Pollini, and this was sort of his breakout recording when he was a teenager from 1960. This is with Paul Kletsky and the Philharmonia. And this is not one of those overpowering virtuosic barn burners. It's more of just exquisite poetry, just beautiful artistry and wonderful pianism from Pollini. Very well supported by Kletsky. They do a great job too, the Philharmonia. We also have Martha Argerich. This is with Claudio Abbado in the London Symphony from 1968. Again, this is just the first. Argerich was just, a wizard, or is. Again, I keep forgetting not all these people are not with us. Some of them are still here and still performing as well. Argerich is a wonderful virtuoso, a thinking artist, very, very individual. And she mixes wonderful virtuosity with wonderful poetry as well, and well supported by Abbado in a very well recorded version of the first. Now, a few historic recordings to look at, because especially with Chopin, there are some pianists from the first half of the 20th century that you just really need to hear if you love Chopin. And one of the chief ones is Alfred Cortot. This is the second piano concerto only. This was recorded in 1935. This is with John Barbaroli and the London Philharmonic. Fairly distant sound quality, but actually not bad for 1935. And Cortot was just a genius at Chopin. He was a genius at everything, really. But Chopin and Schumann were really his two, the composers you come across him the most in. And he just had this wonderful imagination. He was one of those artists that, the best artists are the ones who make it sound as if they're composing the music on the spot. And that's what you hear with Cortot. Just beautiful artistry and wonderful support from Barbaroli and the London Philharmonic. Now, Barbaroli has some other recordings as well of the Chopin concertos with some of the genius Chopin pianists. So I guess Barbaroli is the king of the Chopin concertos, because we also have the two concertos together with Arthur Rubinstein, who is probably the most identified pianist with Chopin of the 20th century, partly because he lived long enough to record them all in stereo, or most of everything in stereo. He does have recordings from later of the two concertos, but I think these earlier recordings from the 1930s with Barbaroli and the London Symphony show Rubinstein at his freshest. And Rubinstein was just immaculate in the way he played Chopin. There's this dignity and nobility to the way he phrases things that it's really amazing. It's especially it comes out almost more strongly with a concerto, because you would think with an orchestra behind you, you'd be more apt to just sort of pound it out, but you'd never hear that with Rubinstein. He always maintains that Chopin-like grace and beauty. So these are really prime interpretations despite the sound quality. As is another legendary pianist for Chopin, as well as just about anything, Joseph Hofmann. Hofmann was just a virtuoso and an artist of the first rank, admired by everybody, including his peer Rachmaninoff, who could just, it felt like he could just toss off anything and just kind of like a Heifetz for the piano, I would say. And we're lucky to have this recording because this is live. These are both concertos recorded in Carnegie Hall in the 30s. Again, Barbaroli is conducting, this time with the New York Philharmonic. And the sound quality is a little bit more rough compared to, like, say, the Rubinstein, which that was a studio recording. So it's a little bit more noisy, but you really want to hear Hofmann play these concertos. He just has this virtuosity and this thinking mind, this artistry, just fantastic. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, I hope you'll also take time to click the like and subscribe buttons. And with that, I want to wish you all a great day and happy listening.